What's up, man? I want to talk about the hiring of Steve Nash for the Brooklyn Nets. They hired Steve Nash, which was a surprise. No one seen this hire coming. We heard names like Ty Lue possibly getting hired. Maybe a couple other candidates, Mark Jackson. You know what I'm saying, of that nature. Even Greg Popovich putting up his house, possibly coaching the Brooklyn Nets. I didn't see that though. I didn't see him coming to Brooklyn coaching. Leaving San Antonio. He built Greg Popovich built uh, a good foundation, championship foundation in San Antonio. For him to leave it, like this, I don't think he want to leave like this. Plus, Greg Popovich, he's up there in age, man. I believe he's in his sixties. In his sixties. Um, so I didn't see that hire him getting hired there. Uh, so when Steve Nash got hired, I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people came out and said, well, he don't have a lot of you know, a lot of NBA coaching experience. Well, he don't have any, but he has been around the Warriors. So, but he's never been on the bench. But it's coaches that have been hired like a Steve Kerr. You know what I'm saying? I believe Isaiah Thomas. He was an assistant coach. Who else wasn't an assistant coach? It was some other people that wasn't an assistant coach that got hired. You know what I'm saying? And did relatively. Larry Bird. He was never an assistant coach. So it's not from that. Mine is not from that angle because I know that has happened before. But the GM from the Nets said that Kevin Durant signed off on it. I believe Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving signed off of it on it because the NBA is a players' league. We all know the NBA is ran by the players. The players make a lot of decisions, especially with the coach. My thing is this: I believe what is about 5 black head coaches in the NBA right now out of 32. It's not a good ratio. You know, we always talk about that. Talk that most of the GMs are white in all sports. Most of the GMs are white, and we never get to hire a lot of black coaches because there's not a lot of black GMs to have the power to hire a black coach that is that can do the job. I'm not saying just hire any black coach. I'm saying one is that you think is qualified to do the job, and if in fact, which I know is a fact, because the GM for the Nets came out and said that Kevin Durant drove this hire. Well, Kevin Durant is black. I'm not coming from a racial angle, but I'm saying I'm talking about opportunity. He had the opportunity to hire a qualified black coach. He did. He had the opportunity to select a qualified black coach. He had the opportunity to select Ty Lue, for instance. Ty Lue is a young coach. He's a former player. He's a former NBA championship coach. Let me say that again. Ty Lue is a former NBA championship coach. He won the championship in the 2016 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He coached stars. Actually, he coached Kyrie. He coached LeBron James. So he understands how to coach high level personalities and win a championship. You know what I'm saying? So Mark Jackson was out there. Mark Jackson had a lot of success with the Golden State Warriors. Steve Kerr took them to the next level, but Mark Jackson took them to the playoffs a couple years while he was there. He groomed Steph and Clay. You know what I'm saying? So he deserved a lot of credit for their growth and maturation. Just Steve Kerr just took them to the championship level, which you got to give Steve Kerr a lot of credit for that. But it was coaches out there. Now, I'm not under the impression that Jacques Vaughn should have just got the job because Jacques Vaughn did good in a small sample size. Because Jacques Vaughn did coach Orlando Magic. Didn't do real good there. Didn't do good there anyway. Never made the playoffs. I don't believe he made the playoffs when he was in Orlando. He ain't had the best roster either. Because people got to understand, you got to have players, man. Phil Jackson is not going to coach a bum team and they win a championship. It's just not going to happen. Every coach needs players to be successful. If you look at all the coaches that won NBA titles, they had successful players. Even you can go all the way back to the Celtics. They had Ray Auerbach had Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, Sam Jones, this guy. He had John Havlicek. A lot of great players. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to the Lakers. Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Byron Scott. Pat Riley had the players. He had the horses. If you want to go up again, Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant. You know what I'm saying? Dennis Rodman, Ron Harper. The horses. If you want to go, Phil Jackson when he went to the Lakers. He didn't go to the Lakers and that cover was bare. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Nick Van Exel, Sarah Sabalas, Eddie Jones. Players. Robert Horry, Big Shot Rob. If you want to go up again, I remember when Doc Rivers was coaching Orlando. They went to the playoffs a couple times. He wasn't great with Orlando. He get KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, a young Rondo, up and coming Rondo, point guard, good point guard. He won a championship. He had the horses. You want to go to San Antonio? Greg Popovich had the horses. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard. The horses. So you have to have the horses. And the Nets, the New Jersey Nets, have the horses. What happened when Ty Lue won the championship? He had Kyrie, Kevin Love, LeBron James. He had the horses. The horses are there in Brooklyn. Brooklyn has a really good team. They got some young pieces. They got some veteran pieces on that team. Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Spencer Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan, Karis LeVert, Joe Harris, the other kid with the fro. I always forget his name. They had him. The horses. So Ty Lue would have had the horses. See, that's what I'm saying about when we do have the power to hire someone that looked like us. And I'm not saying Kevin Durant couldn't hire Steve Nash. I'm not saying that. If he want to hire Steve Nash, hire Steve Nash. But in turn, we cannot look at the landscape and say we're not hiring enough black coaches, especially when we got the power to hire a black coach and a qualified black coach. Like if you don't want to hire Mark Jackson and say, okay, well, Mark Jackson really didn't do a whole lot with Golden State. They got to the playoffs a couple times. They really didn't do nothing. You can't say that about Ty Lue. Actually, Ty Lue went to the NBA Finals twice and won one. He has all the ingredients you need for a championship level coach. He has won a championship, so he come in with instant credibility. He was a former player. That gives him instant credibility. He wasn't a great player, but he was a former player. A lot of former players, especially point guards, become pretty good coaches. And he coached personalities. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you want to go from the angle that Kyrie probably didn't want him because maybe he didn't get along with Ty Lue when he was in Cleveland. Okay, why you didn't hire Mark Jackson? Like I said, Mark Jackson, when he coached Golden State, they were still young. Y'all have the horses. I believe Mark Jackson can get them over the hump and win a championship with them. I believe so. I believe Mark Jackson was a successful point guard, a borderline Hall of Famer. That's all I'm saying. I'm not coming from the angle of when Stephen A. Smith went off on First Take talking about this, that, this, and that. I'm saying this. When we have the power to hire a quality black coach, we don't do it. So you can't complain about it's not enough black coaches, especially when you have the power to do it. Because when Caucasian general managers had the power to do it, they hire a Caucasian at the Caucasian. Yeah, they will hire a black coach here and there, but mostly it's people that look like them, people that they are comfortable with. That's all I'm saying. I'm not castigating Durant. Maybe him and Steve Nash have a really good personal relationship. Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying, just don't say it's not enough black coaches out here when you have the power, especially when you have the power to hire a coach and it's a quality black coach. I want the Chicago Bulls to hire Ty Lue. I believe Ty Lue is a good fit for the Chicago Bulls. But that's just my take, man. I'm out.